Sato gets out just in time. They deal with the Blizzard as Fury just decimates the backline. And now the Uprising are in real trouble.
Hey guys, Chris here. I'm back and I'm going to be breaking down my favourite play from our game versus Boston. With hero pools coming next week, I should be able to break down this play a little bit more in depth without revealing too many secrets, which is something I don't normally get to do. So there was only 26 minutes of game time versus Boston, so I don't have too much to go off, but my favourite play that I want to review is how we took first point King's Row. We want, as the attacking team, to try and bypass as many chokes as possible, so we take the route to go high ground. Boston respond the way that almost every team does, by meeting us high ground and having their D.Va play an off angle. But because every team does this, Alarm is able to sleep the D.Va in the back, meaning that we have a pretty easy way to bypass this choke and force Boston to rejoin point. So now that both teams have been forced to drop, it's now a 50-50 on point, which as the attacking team we're pretty happy about because it means there's no more defender's advantage. It's really important not only to recognize our win conditions, but to recognize our lose conditions. And when we've backed Boston up into Hotel, the biggest danger for us is if the McCree can flank through Hotel and pick off one of our backline. But we are aware of this, and Fury only allows Jerry one shot on the flank, therefore meaning there is no chance for him to kill anybody. So one of the keys to a mirror matchup, especially without ults, is all about cooldowns. So I want to kind of show you guys how every single cooldown we use is aggressive and proactive, and it forces Boston to be on the back foot using all of their cooldowns defensively just to stay alive in the fight. The most important cooldown in this meta is the Mei Wall. Boston elect to use their Mei Wall first, however it does not cut any of our tanks or DPS off from our healers, therefore meaning this is kind of a bad Mei Wall. Now Eco uses his Mei Wall, however he does split off the Mei from the team, meaning we can focus Color Hex down and force his shift. This will become important later in the fight. Carface sees an opportunity to flashbang the Rhine. This drops him to around 20% of his HP. This forces them to use Annonade defensively and therefore starts the trend of them having to use all of their cooldowns and ultimates to keep their front line alive rather than to pressure ours. Fusions is getting too low, so they also have to invest a nano boost. So now it's Alarm's turn to use the nade. He is able to hit both our Rhine and their Rhine, which means that Fusions has to back off because he cannot be healed and Sado is basically unkillable. This brings me to my favourite part of this play. Most teams are able to track ults between fights, however in this situation we are able to track Mei ult whilst in the middle of the fight. So because we know they have Mei ult, you should notice the spacing of our team. Only people that can be hit by the Mei ult are the Rhine and the Mei, who both have their shift ability to immediately escape it once they hear the voice line. So Color Hex drops the Blizzard, Sado immediately pins out, and EQO, knowing that Color Hex does not have shift, goes for the manual freeze on him, getting it off before he has to shift himself to not get frozen. So we negate the Blizzard and we finish off the frozen Mei, but there's still one problem. We've lost track of the McCree and he's elected to go on a flank around high ground. But Fury knows this, and the second Jerry shows he's ready to fly and kill him, therefore ending any chance Boston has of winning this fight. And because Sado was greedy for all of the play of the games, he also finds a way to flank, shatter and kill both enemy supports.
Backline, and now the Uprising are in real trouble.
The reason I liked this play so much is it highlighted our teamwork and communication. We always were aware of the enemy's win conditions and threats, and we always found ways to negate them before they caused us any problems.